everybody, I'm Flavia Demonte from FlavialiciousFitness.com, and I'm here with Chef Amy Stoddart from Satiate.com. So we are going to show you how easy it is to cook from scratch with all natural ingredients, and it's going to be quick and super easy for you to cook for yourself and for your family. So Amy, what do we have on the menu today?
Yes, on the menu today we do have some awesome fast and easy dishes. We're going to do a nice roast beef tenderloin, and with that we're going to serve it with a chimichurri sauce, which is like a garlic herb sauce. You can serve it cold so you can make it ahead, so it's really good. We're going to do cauliflower 3 ways, just to show you how you can make totally different sides for your protein dishes, and they don't have to be starchy. So we're going to make a cauliflower mash, we're going to make cauliflower rice, and then we're just going to do nice roasted cauliflower little florets. And then finally, we're gonna finish it up with some just lemony roast green beans, or steamed green beans, but you could roast them too, but we're gonna do steamed, yeah, so
great
yummy stuff.
Yeah, so some easy ways to transfer your vegetables so that you can have your kids eat it. And,
yeah, for sure.
So you actually wanna eat vegetables. So
yeah, they're all really good. So first we'll just start with our veggies, basically. I'm gonna pull over the cauliflower, because we wanna just get that ready. Just with your knife, just take out that kind of woody core there. And we just get rid of that. And we're gonna go in one more time and kind of peel away so the cauliflower starts to fall off of the core. So the first one we're gonna prep are our cauliflower florets. Florets are just these little, when you cut it into little pieces like this, oftentimes you'll do this for just like veggies and dip. So we're gonna make some, this will be the biggest size, and then we'll make some small like that. So we want kind of all different size pieces. Our cauliflower is now prepped, so we're just gonna set it aside. Okay. And go on to the next cauliflower. We'll make this one for our cauliflower rice. So we're gonna keep it whole, okay, pretty much, but we'll continue to, yeah. I mean, we're gonna cut it into probably 2 or 3 large pieces, because we're gonna grate it on the large grater attachment, and then we just go like that. We're gonna use grapeseed oil, and I'll just have you drizzle in just enough to coat everything.
So some salt.
Yeah, that looks good. And then some pepper. And then we're going to use a sprinkling of ground coriander. We're just going to let this sit like that. And again, you could prep it to this point the night before. So we're just going to split up our green beans here.
Okay.
We're just going to take off and you can do this by hand or you can do it with a little paring knife. But we're just going to snap off the little end where it usually is attached to the plant.
Okay. And
we're going to leave the other one on. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll just get our lemon zested, just taking off the yellow. So we've got our beans are ready. Now what we're gonna do is we'll prep our chimichurri sauce.
Great.
A chimichurri is, like we said, just a mixture of lots of green herbs, a little bit of olive oil, we have parsley here, and some green onions, some garlic, and some red wine vinegar. So I have cilantro here, which is the fresh version of coriander that we used. Coriander is the seed to cilantro.
Okay.
And then we have some parsley. I'll kind of load up our tray. And I have some oregano. We'll do about 1/3 cup of the cilantro and the parsley. I'm gonna do about 1/4 cup or maybe a couple tablespoons. Oregano's pretty strong. Of the oregano.
And so do you need fresh ingredients for these?
You do need fresh ingredients for this, yeah. This is a fresh herb and garlic dip. I'm just gonna bunch my herbs up like we've been doing before in our workshops. And this just helps us go through them less times. And then I'm just gonna chop through. Okay, put our cilantro down. So we're gonna go for about 1/4 cup of green onions. So I'm just gonna take off the bottoms here. This is a bit stronger, so you could save, once you take the root off, you could save these. Oh, kind of saute them in with anything you're making. Okay, cool. So we'll line up all of our ingredients. We'll be ready to measure out. Exciting stuff. Today we're cooking a beef tenderloin. We're gonna roast it. So we'll just carefully kind of take this out of the bag, keep everything onto our tray. All we're gonna do is put a little bit of grapeseed oil around it, and just kind of get a nice little even coating, not too much. I'll sprinkle, and you kind of make sure it's all nice and even. I'll have you to turn them over, or her, and then I'll do. And then pat that all down, like so it stays.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Now we've preheated our oven to 425 convection. So if you don't have convection, you can do 450. Perfect. And we'll set the timer to 20 minutes. So now what we're gonna do is we're just going to finish our sauce so we can set it aside, and then we'll get our veggies rolling. So we'll start with olive oil. So we're just gonna put half a cup of olive oil, and then next we're gonna add our red wine vinegar. So we're gonna do a 1/4 cup. Okay, good stuff. Okay, awesome. Start with we have here a 1/4 cup of chopped green onions. Yeah, pack it right in. And then we're gonna do a 1/3 of a cup of, really it's a 1/3 of a cup total of chopped parsley and cilantro combined. So kind of mix from both.
Sure. All right.
Good stuff. Okay, super easy. And then I think we have about a tablespoon of oregano. And we want a little bit of kick, so do you like spicy?
Oh yeah.
So we can give a few good pinches, not the whole thing. Just a few pinches. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Perfect. The next thing is just some salt and pepper. So we'll do a nice pinch or two of sea salt. Okay. And then we'll use, the pepper is a little bit more finely ground, so I'll have you give a few good pinches of that. Yeah. So we say that a clove of garlic is about a 1/2 teaspoon we'll start with. Okay. So we'll use 4 level ones of those, just to start. Good stuff. Yeah, that looks good. And 3 more like that. So that's done.
Wonderful.
Super easy. And it'll keep
easy.
Yeah, it keeps for a while.
Nice.
Ready to go back to our cauliflower dishes. Okay. So for the first one we'll do is we'll do our cauliflower mash. So just give it a generous, we want to salt the water because that's where we're going to be adding the salt, the flavor. It's going to be absorbed by the cauliflower. We don't have to use as much salt later. And then we can just plunk that in. Okay. Yep, just careful not to splash yourself because the water is pre-warmed. Perfect. And I'm just going to put the lid on. Now, if you wanted to make this even more flavorful, you could use vegetable stock or chicken stock. And the next one we're going to do is we'll just scatter our florets. We've just foil lined our bake sheet for easy cleanup. And the trick here is you want to have the cauliflower spread so there's lots of airy spaces in between everything. Okay. Because we want it to get really caramelized. It's almost to the point where we think it's burning. For our cauliflower rice, another really easy one, we're going to use some coconut oil. So Flavia just put not too much, just enough to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. We have some nice leftover onions, so we'll wait till those start sizzling, and then now we can add a small spoonful of garlic. Okay, perfect. So now our garlic is just starting to go golden a little bit around the edges, so that's when we want to add our cauliflower rice. So I'll have you mix that all through. Sure. Yep, and we'll turn our heat down, right down. Yep, and kind of keep mixing that. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning to this, along with some nice fresh parsley. Kind of mix that all. I'll grab our salt and pepper.
So could this be used just by itself? Cauliflower, salt, pepper?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So we just cook that down on low heat, and we see that our cauliflower, the florets, are cooking nicely. We want those to get really nice and soft. So I'll show you. They're not there yet. Great. So our rice, our cauliflower rice is done, which is great. That was really fast. So now we can pop our cauliflower florets in the top shelf. So it gets me every time. So we're gonna go, this is what we want to see is nice golden bits. And you could take this even further a little bit. Perfect. So we started with 20 minutes for our tenderloin. We're gonna stick it in for, we're gonna check it after I think another 15. It's kind of breaking apart really easily. That's what we want. We're first gonna add some nice roasted garlic. We're just gonna pop out about 4 cloves. So these keep in the fridge for a few days and also in the freezer. So I'll roast off a whole bunch. Dump it right in, you're good to go. We're gonna use the pulse function just so that we can kind of bounce it around and then it stops and comes down. So we want kind of an even mash. And I will grab what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir in some of our leftover fresh herbs. Just get rid of the extra. And then I'll bring a little bit of pepper over. Okay. We just haven't added a little bit of butter. And you can just stir that through. We have the water boiling over for our steamed beans.
Great.
And so all you have to do is, we're just gonna take the lemon and kind of scatter it all around.
Okay.
The green bean, just mix it all together.
Sure.
Like that. And then just transfer that into the steamer. Watch your wrist when you do this because the steam's really hot. Yeah. And then get the lemon all in there, scatter it all over the top. It was on high heat to bring it to a boil, and but it doesn't have to be on a high heat the whole time. We'll just turn like that.
So it's about medium.
Yeah. So our green beans have been steaming for about 4 or 5 minutes. These were pretty big, sort of tough, older green beans. They weren't the French haricots there, but equally they're yummy. Just they take a little bit more time. So, oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Just a little squeeze of lemon juice.
Sure.
To finish it off is nice. Great, and we can bring that over to our table here. Good, and now we can take the roast out if you want to take the roast out. We'll have a look at it. So we put it in. Perfect. It looks amazing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is ready. So we'll just let this rest before we carve it. But what we can do is we can start to snip off the strings. Now, if you were serving these in larger, let's say you got a roast and you wanted to cut it into individual fillets, the strings are a great guideline. You just cut kind of in the middle of the 2 strings. And I have a nice sharp carving knife. We'll use this one because it's long, it's nice and long. And so that's gonna enable us to slice through the meat. So all we're gonna do is just go really simply. See, we've developed a nice crust, just slice, get through that crust there. And that's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. See how beautifully pink that is? I'm just going to finish it off with, again with a fork, so we just kind of drip out and just put a little bit. Oil. Yeah, just a little bit hot. It's really powerful topping, so you don't need too much. It's just so yummy and good for you. All this garlic. There we go. A little bit of, speaking of crunch, a little bit of.
Wonderful.
And we're good.
Look at that.
Yay. They're both so nice.
Once again, check Amy out, sayshe8.com, especially if you're in the Toronto area. Amy does a lot of classes in her brand new studio downstairs, which is amazing. And be sure to check out flydeliciousfitness.com for more recipes and some fitness advice.
Awesome.
All right, and hopefully we'll see you soon.